well, too nervous for this nonsense. It's been a long time. But Dark Sheik is back on the show.
Hi.
How long did we go back, man? I can't remember, man.
I have no idea.
I know. We get too high and we forget. But you created a phenomenon that is Hood Slam. Tell people that don't know about it. Tell us about Hood Slam.
It's a wrestling company out of Oakland, California that was based on doing basically what everyone does now. Not everyone, but it's a party atmosphere. It's a 21 and up show. We have everyone around the ring without chairs. We don't really do the hardcore. We're a little bit more on the absurd end of the wrestling spectrum.
If you know Doc Trosody, a lot of those storylines are crazy and a little out there. It's like you're a big fan of comic books, so you like putting that with the wrestling.
Yes.
Yes.
Comic books. It's a 13-year comic book storyline that's still putting issues out with rotating characters, but also something I like about it is that the characters actually change over time and there's actually consequences and changes that occur, which is sometimes.
There's been weddings, there's been births, it's been crazy.
Births, weddings, blood drives, interventions, a drowning match, I like that a lot. There's been some elections, a lot of burlesque.
A lot of butternuts.
Butternuts was our ambassador for a long time. They unfortunately died.
Unfortunately.
They were a stuffed horse, so I don't feel too bad.
So, you were mostly known in Oakland and NorCal, which is great. But then when the pandemic happened, you decided nothing's happening. Let me go explore.
Yeah.
And to get this following now, and now we're 2-3 years later.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Dark Sheik. They're doing this. They're loving it. So how thankful you are for Brett and GCW to give you this opportunity to be so known?
Part of it was that I've gotten better over time. Part of it is that when I did not have to focus on 30 other people every month, not that I don't love those people, but when I was able to just forced to focus on one person instead of a whole company, that the effort showed, I think, and I just took that same drive that I used for Hood Slam for so long towards myself, which is something I never really did. The year before the pandemic, I was at Lucha Boom a bunch. I was at Bizarro Lucha.
I was just thinking about Bizarro Lucha is definitely where people got a chance to see you outside of NorCal, which is people think is a black hole, but now lately, Jeff Cobb, Kratos, the names go on, and Juicy is still changing up. How do you think NorCal's changed from the time you came in, which is a crazy time, from now?
It's much better, but all of wrestling has changed. When I came in, it was decades ago.
Yeah.
And there was no YouTube. You know what I mean? So we're no longer having to mail cassette tapes to promoters hoping they watch them. And also just the access to which fans can have what has existed in other parts of the world where it wasn't just one type of wrestling presented. You had different flavors for everyone, like in Japan, where you would have your strong style, you would have your comedy, you'd have your lucha-based, like Michinoku Pro, and you would also have like a battle arts, which would be more of a UWFI or whatever. Forgive me if I'm mixing up names, but where there was a variety there, to here, it was always two companies that kind of had the same people bouncing back and forth. And now what you see is that there's a diverse amount of wrestling available in North America to English-speaking audiences, and there's a market for it. So wrestling has changed a lot. There was no territories in 2000. There was 190 wrestlers that just got released by WCW. They were now flooding what were the Americans. And now you can go on Fight TV and see the world. For $4.99, Fight TV Plus. Go to, do you want to do it?
Fight Plus, definitely.
Thanks for interrupting my plug.
Sorry.
God, I had it.
Sorry, I've been a little rusty, but we're a raw, we don't edit. That's what happened when Teddy Hart got mad. He got fuck Teddy Hart. That's what it's always been about, fuck Teddy Hart. But LGBTQ has really blown up, and wrestling been so accepting. The trans community, the gay community definitely been opening with the Big Gay Brunch. Tell us about that, and being an inspiration to fellow trans people.
It's amazing, it's one of those things that I try and, I don't know if just being trans is a reason for anyone to like me, because everyone is something, and the fact that I'm something, I'm inspired that people find whatever from me, and I try and live up to that because it means a lot, and I just don't want to let people down if they're able to find inspiration from me. I'd rather continue to be something that people are proud to see and have represent them. I think that there's always been people, it's a diverse country, but we aren't always represented, and now that we're seeing representation. At brunch, Edith versus myself was what I know the first, for a lot of people, the first time they saw two trans wrestlers wrestle each other.
Yeah.
And we were not the only two trans wrestlers around or anything. Of course, Nyla and others have been. Mariah deserves her flowers, and others before.
Mariah Moreno's great.
But it was the first time people had seen us, and now there's a plethora of trans femme wrestlers, and to see two trans wrestlers wrestle each other at a brunch or outside of brunch is not so much of a. It's just accepted now. If I wrestle Kid Bandit somewhere, or I wrestle Edith Surreal somewhere, or Candy Lee, it's just a dope match.
Yeah.
It's we got to main event at Pro Wrestling Vibe, and that was iconic and a big moment for me. But things have changed so quickly. And there is a backlash. Whenever you have a fast change, those who bit their tongue will eventually become loud. But existence is resistance, and I plan on being here for like another 300 years.
Yeah. And then we got to talk about your fit. Your outfits in wrestling have been great. What have been some of your favorites?
I love the Emma Frost outfit. The Death outfit's great. Yesterday I did the Brittany Reed suit, which I think I'm going to wear more. Although maybe next time I'll sport pasties, but apparently.
We have to save stuff for the hot tub. Definitely.
I'm not getting in this
hot
soup with you, buddy.
Oh, okay.
You stew in your own juices, and I'll stew in mine, and we'll just keep them separate. You know what I mean? But that's not about that. I'm just going about my outfits. The Iron Slut, the butt stuff, the soon-to-be cunt shirt, my costume based off Monstrous, fashion is a responsibility.
And wrestling and fashion go together, I think.
I mean, it's show business, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the ring is basically a runway, and then entrance ramp, runway.
I think eventually we could just do shows without the wrestling. I just make my entrance, we play the whole song. I'll do a little bit on the microphone, we play it again, and I leave, and we bring the next one out. I think it's kind of the best part of wrestling anyway, if you ask me.
Well, we're at the great UCC. Tell us about your favorite memories here. You wrestled Nick Gage here at main event. And how was that? Being the main event here at UCC and having a crowd for you.
It was amazing. I'm not from Los Angeles. I know I'm from California, but it's a 6-hour drive to Oakland. I don't know if people realize that. So this is basically being 3 states over if you're from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the fact that people supported me, this was my second official GCW match. So the
second match in the main event.
The second match was the main event in a venue they'd never been to before. It was my first death match. It was against Nick Gage in the middle of him wrestling Chris Jericho, Matt Cardona, just these fucking. It was such a run he was on, and it blows my mind that I was in there in the middle of it.
You put that work in to earn that, and earn where you were there. And I was on the call for that match, one of my favorite matches ever to call. Great stuff. How was it being in the ring with Nick Gage?
X-Pac and Effie.
X-Pac and Effie, sorry.
Yeah, that's cool.
I smoke too much weed. I forget what I'm on and what I'm not.
What have I been smoking?
We're always smoking at Real Comments 420.
What?
Real Comments 420, the sponsor of the show. We're on.
Thanks. You can send me my check. PO Box 70792, Oakland, California 94608.
Let's plug some stuff, merch, anything.
Just put my PO Box.
PO Box, oh yeah.
Wrestling Nick Gage is amazing. He's an artist. I know maybe he wouldn't word it that way, but I would, because I think what we do in there is art, and that the ring is a canvas. We're all a different color, and when we combine, we make a painting. And Nick's very colorful, and he gets a lot of red. And I'm scarred the rest of my life in that match. And I'm proud of it. I love those scars because
it's a badge of honor.
It's a memory that I'll always have. I can feel back here and I'll say, that was that moment that GCW believed in me in the main event the first time at this venue, which sold out, by the way. And that means a lot, to have that faith and then to have the community of wrestling audience, and they accepted me. And also to have Nick Gage give his stamp of approval to someone who's new to the company means a lot, because I don't know if everyone knew who I was before I got there. I'd only wrestled Effie. I know Effie and I, Effie is Effie, and I love you, Effie, and I'll always, and everyone will always love you. But not everyone maybe had the same love for me, but having that match with Nick Gage and having him validate my presence in that main event means everything. And people bring that up more than any other match that I've been in. That's the one they bring up the most. And along with the one with you, it's surreal approach.
And I've seen you for almost, we won't name out years. I've seen you so long. It was so great to see you finally get that adulation and just that response from the crowd, and to cement your legacy here outside of Oakland, outside of Oregon, and show you're great.
You know, what happened, and if people liked it, I love that. If you didn't like it, it's valid, it's art. You can feel what you want. It's fine.
Let's talk about the collective from here. Tell us about finally the collective in LA, not having to travel that far for the collective.
Oh, this is going to be the first time I don't wrestle brunch on East Coast time. So if you think those 11 a.m. shows are really for you, imagine that I got there 2 hours earlier, but it was 3 hours earlier for me. So I'm at that building at like 6 in the morning on my time, and I don't take care of myself on these road trips. I got to be honest. But I pull it out when it's time because the people pay money, and that's what it's all about. Giving them that moment, that escape from all the bullshit, where they can experience a true, in-the-moment unity with the crowd, with the wrestlers, and the oneness with the universe. That's why I got into wrestling, so I'd love to give it back. Punch is great.
So definitely, we got Carville here.
I was gonna do a cartwheel and
I was really hoping you would. As a commentator, you should know to let the wrestlers do
I'm
their
sorry.
spots.
Yeah.
Would you like to say what I'm going to say next? Or?
What?
You getting buried?
Oh, I'm getting buried?
No, I'm getting buried.
Oh shit! No.
Weird, because you're the one digging.
I know. So let's plug your social medias.
Sure. Also, let's plug the collective. It's the biggest thing in wrestling.
For sure.
It's so big that WrestleMania is in LA too, right at the same time. They must have known. So you can see me at GCW versus DDT fighting Saki Akai in a highly anticipated bout between two legends and femme icons of sexiness. On the note of trans femme, by the way, there's trans masculine people and not enough for you here in wrestling, and follow your journey, but I think that people would love to see you represented too. So hope to see you in the ring soon. Also, you can see me at Big Cage Runs during the collective. That'll be great. I'm doing that crazy Wednesday in Anaheim. There's 3 shows at that building.
Oh yeah, Don Quixote, Remy Pro, Pandemonium Pro, and Dark Arts.
Dark Arts, that's right. Super Beast. He's who does see Dark Arts.
He's definitely
I thought I'd
Super
shout
Beast.
him out. He's not going to watch this. Just
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
No
But anyways,
worries.
I'll be at those things. Thursday, I'm not doing anything. Don't ask me to come to lunch with you. I find it off-putting. But hope to see you at the collective. Unless like I have a type, and I feel like it's not a mystery, but it's not usually the ones asking me to lunch. I'll try and sound just gayer if I can. I don't know how.
But for $5, you can see all that.
See the manicure?
$4.99.
See this manicure?
Oh,
It's
very
very
nice.
specific. These 2 fingers are cut short for card tricks, I guess.
I like the rings too.
Thank you. This one is for the Angel Metatron. This one is for Lilith. This one is for it's Onyx, so you know what that's for. And this one's green. That's
It's been an honor interviewing you, Dark Sheik.
thank you. I enjoy your shirt. Okay.
Sorry.
And it's fun.
The Sean 2 cents, RookMS420.com, Dark Sheik, Hood Slam, BirdsWillFall.com. Peace.